All right, everyone. Welcome to Holy Shanks with Mike and the Mormon, our second episode. Today's episode is going to be pretty exciting. We're going to talk about the race for the LA mayor. No, I'm just kidding.
Please no.
We're going to be talking about really the most important thing in U.S. golf that's upcoming is the U.S. Open. Starts next week at famed Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Southampton, New York. So we're going to talk about that and talk about our thoughts of what's going to happen this year, give you a little history on Shinnecock, and then we're going to dive into an East versus West on kind of which golf is better, seeing that out here we have Pebble Beach and Olympic and Long Island, where I'm from, has Shinnecock and Bethpage and all the others. So
it's gonna be super awesome just because you are from Long Island. You're super familiar with Shinnecock and a lot of those golf courses out there. So I'm super interested to learn about those golf courses, some of the history of Shinnecock Hills, and then, like you said, we'll dive into the East versus West face-off, make some arguments about the small little geographic areas of Long Island, and we're in North California, so kind of the San Francisco Bay Area and Monterey, and have some arguments about which one's better.
Yeah.
I think I'm feeling pretty good about it, Mike.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good about West Coast, too.
I don't like to argue at all.
Yeah, you freaking New Yorkers. So tell me, because you've been out Long Island, grew up out there, what's your kind of history of Shinnecock Hills? Yeah. What's your background out there?
So kind of some fun history growing up out there. Like I said in the first episode, public course kid growing up all my life. And it wasn't until I was working at Deepdale that I was able to play at Shinnecock, because we had a bunch of members out there that were kind of members everywhere. So they were members of Shinnecock, so we would go play. So that was my first time, kind of experienced it in the early 2000s. The cool thing, and I'll give you a couple stories that I've got from Shinnecock over the years of being out there and playing there and experiencing the Opens out there. The cool thing about Shinnecock is, even as a golf lover, you can drive through Shinnecock because there's a road that actually drives through part of the golf course.
Oh, cool.
So you can see like the 10th hole, the 10th tee is on the road. Then you'll see some other holes, maybe like 14 or 15 that kind of come back. And then you can see kind of like 18 and 1. So it's kind of cool. Like you get to really drive through, and like you're literally driving 50 feet from this beautiful Sanford White clubhouse, old school.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's really fun. The parking back in the day was just a little parking lot across the street on the 10th tee, right near the 10th tee. So it was always fun doing that. But the stories I have from Shinnecock was it was the first time I actually ever volunteered at a major. Was in '95. I literally just graduated high school and went and volunteered, and I was on the 10th tee, or the 10th hole, which is an awesome par 4, about 420 yards, not too long for the players.
Yeah.
Back then and even today. There's kind of two ways to play the hole. There's two bunkers off the fairway that you're trying to hit in between. But if you hit it 200 and, let's say, 40, 50 yards, it plateaus. But if you hit it past there, it goes down a huge hill and really narrows up. So some guys try to hit it down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second shot, though, is even from the plateau is uphill a little bit. But it's one of those greens where if you miss the green or you come off the front, you're coming 60 yards back downhill. It's
brutal.
Very, very severe. So it was cool watching that week, even in the practice rounds. That was the first time and only time, really, I got to meet Tiger Woods.
Oh,
he
cool.
was a freshman or sophomore at Stanford.
Yeah.
And he ended up, I think, withdrawing in that event because he hurt himself on the second day. But he was still a hyped, won the U.S. amateurs and the juniors. And I think he might have won the NCAA's individual that year, but Stanford lost in the match play. So
Oh yeah.
it was kind of cool to meet him and just go up and talk to him back at that point.
You didn't realize what kind of star he was going to be at that point. He was probably getting close to that.
He was getting close because of all the stardom, but it wasn't as big.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And again, just that was my first time into like being close to these guys. I mean, literally standing on the tee 2 feet away, looking in their golf bags and all that. So that was fun. And then the other kind of cool experience I had out there during the Open was in 2004, because I had members at the club I worked at were members out there. Took my father and I during the first round. I remember we had to take the train out there. Easiest way to get out there, because there's a train stop literally right outside the course. And I was with my uncle and one of his best friends who owns a bar that I used to go to, and kind of a New Yorkers, just fun New Yorkers. And my dad, and we went out, and I actually had lunch on the clubhouse patio while people are playing the Open, and my uncle and his friend were like out there, "Hey Mike, how you doing?" I was like, don't know you, because there I am with the the rich, wealthy elite,
right?
So it was fun to do that. My dad and I always joke about with my uncle that couldn't be seen with you.
Yeah, you're out there.
Didn't want to be seen.
Yucking it up with the high-end high rollers, and your dad walks by, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah. But it was just some fun places to go experience golf for me, and do it with some certain people in my life. That was fun. And kind of the cool thing from there was also Ray Floyd, who won there in 1986. His son was a member at Deepdale, and I used to teach his son, Ray Floyd Jr., and Ray would always come out, father would come out and at Deepdale and hit balls with us and play around, and he kind of taught me to chip a little bit. He would give me chipping lessons. So it was cool that I spent a good amount of time with a guy that won a Masters and a U.S. Open.
Right. And
at Shinnecock. He was a member at Shinnecock as well. Ray Floyd Jr. Senior was. So just kind of fun stuff. And I mean, I always remember too, that year that in 2004 that Retief Goosen won, he had, and this is the amazing thing, that golf course is hard. He had 11 one-putts on the final day.
Jeez.
24 putts. So like the story, the famous stuff about like 86 was, I think, Greg Norman and Floyd battling it out, and Norman kind of choking, and Floyd just being the bulldog that he was. Corey Pavin hitting the shot in 1995, the four-wood from 225 yards.
Yeah.
I was just showing Cohen that. And then Retief Goosen with the 11 one-putts was like the huge storyline that year. And then in 2018 was Brooks Koepka like surviving, really.
Right.
Because unfortunately the USGA,
as they do,
I think they're getting better. I think after that year, and I don't think. I know there's a big bone of contention too with the Shinnecock members, knowing some members out there.
Oh, I'm sure they were not.
They were not happy at all of what kind of went down. So this year, from what I heard, fairways are a lot wider than normal.
Okay.
But then again, if you're just off the rough, it's 5 inches, and then you're a couple yards, and then you're into fescue.
Classic U.S. Open style.
Classic U.S. Open style, and good greens that are going to be good speed out there. So it's good. I'm excited for this year's, the Open, because again, when you play the course and you know it a little bit, you always have that.
Yeah, you can see, you've played some of those shots, you know how the holes play, and TV never really does it justice. We talk about the Masters all the time, how when you get on property, the TV doesn't do all the elevation changes, and it is really entertaining to play the golf course that you get to watch them play and think about, this is what I did on that hole. And my only, I don't know, call it a memory, everybody's memory recent of 2018 was Phil. When things got a little out of control and that putt snuck past him too far by the hole, and he just said, "Screw it, I'm not going to let it roll all down there." And he tapped it back up, took the penalty, and everybody, I remember the commentators were like, "What the heck? What just happened?
What do we do here?
What are we watching?"
But it was amazing stuff. But I think this year will be good. and we'll see what the weather. I haven't checked what the weather is going to be like out there. It's been warm and a little bit rainy the last few days, so we'll see how it progresses.
I'd imagine it can get pretty windy.
Yeah, very windy.
Is it pretty steady, like 10 miles an hour?
10 to 25. Plus? Yeah, it's wide open. I should say it's wide open. There's really not many trees.
Right.
They're far enough from the ocean where you don't really get any ocean views, except like you're looking 2 miles out.
Yeah.
But it's just big open land where wind can
just howl through.
Just be a part of the conversation.
Sure.
Let's put it that way. It's, but I mean, I always remember, like, even some of my favorite holes there is number 11, which is a par 3, 154 yards. A small little green, deep bunkers, and then if you go over the back, it's, down 10 feet, and you're chipping off a tight lies, trying to stop it quick. And even hole number 16, which is like a 600-yard par 5, playing back into the clubhouse. But I mean, shoot, these guys, I mean, they hit it so far, they'll be reaching it possibly into, even into the breeze. I remember I playing there, into a strong breeze. I'm like, driver 3-wood and hopefully 3-wood again. But it was, just a fun, demanding course that you hit a lot of shots. There are some shorter holes, but you gotta be good with everything. So
yeah, what do you think is going to challenge them this coming week?
To me, if the fairways are as wide as they say they are, it's really going to be the second shots or the approach shots into all the greens and where they
have a lot of slope. I remember
a good amount of back to front or there's slopes on all of them. They're not 5 or 8, but or I should say 5 or 8 degrees of slope, but there's slope and they're crowned.
Is it like
miss it?
Not fully like Pinehurst where everything is crowned, but I'm sure there's a little bit of that.
There's a little bit of that, and you got to have the ball on the ground. Then if it bounces too far, it's rolling off. Again because of the crown, off into some tough lies or tough fescue, and so. But again, it's probably been 15 years since I played. More than that, so
could have changed a little bit.
But it's
visually it looks like an amazing golf course. Though.
Visually, it's an amazing golf course. It's always funny to see that you've got 2 courses on the Golf Digest, probably top 20. I haven't checked this year's, but that are literally right next to each other, where Shinnecock and National border each other.
Right.
The second hole is Shinnecock, and I think it's like number 9 or 10 or 11 of National heading back, because National has a traditional out and in routing. So
you were showing me. We're looking at Google Maps the other day, and you were trying to describe like that between Shinnecock and National, and like Sabonic's kind of tossed in there too. Yeah. Like it's just this like pile of golf holes.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at it, you're like, I have no idea which course is which because they kind of
it's pretty much like a big triangle.
Yeah.
Of how things are, big hexagon, and it's off. I mean, just the amount of unbelievable golf holes within like a 3-mile radius,
right?
Literally is unbelievable, and that's other than and we'll talk about it later, like best in the East Coast versus West. To me, that's like the craziest 3 miles of golf in the world.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you've got 3 courses that have hosted USGA events with Savonic and US Women's Open, Shinnecock with all the US Opens, National Golf Links hosted the Walker Cup. It's just all the history. Savonic is new within the past 25 years,
right? But
all the other 2 courses' history is unbelievable.
That's super cool.
Who do you like?
That's what I was going to ask you that first. Dang it, I wanted to ask first. It's hard to ignore the guys who are just constantly playing well in majors, like the Rory, the Scheffler. Schauffele's kind of, I don't think he's really done much this year. I really want to see Brooks Koepka get back into his like major championship mode. Yeah. Like I don't think he's going to do it.
He's got to putt.
But from an entertainment value, I would be super cool to see Brooks mixing it up with those guys again. If I have a leaderboard with either Rory or Scotty and Brooks is in the mix.
Yeah.
I kind of like the PGA Championship. Like going into Sunday of the PGA Championship, you looked at that leaderboard and there was like 30 people within 3 strokes.
Yeah.
Like that is what I want to see from a major championship. And U.S. Opens I think they try to get to that because they make them so hard
Yeah.
that everybody's at 3, 4, 5 under par, and that's the best you're going to get.
Yeah.
So hopefully by Sunday you have a strong leaderboard of guys who everybody knows. But I think Rory's going to do well.
Yeah.
I want to see Brooks do well.
Yeah. No, it'd be fun. Scotty's got to get over his first round issues that he has on the PGA Tour, where he's 30 something or 35th in scoring, but then rounds 2 through 4 he's number 1.
Because that was like Rory for a long time, and I swear in every major for like a 3-year period, his first round almost took him out of a lot of majors.
Yeah.
And yeah, Scotty needs to figure that out.
Yeah, so we'll see. That'll be fun to see. I mean, just some kind of fun stories that I always look at. Other than I mean, I'd love to see Koepka do well. It's interesting to see him kind of get back on the horse of PGA / American golf.
Right.
Compared to the live stuff. Some great stories would be obviously Cameron Young, a New Yorker, born and raised up in Westchester, so probably 2 hours away. I'm sure has played Shinnecock a bunch growing up.
Yeah, I love him.
So that would be a big, huge New York Daily News, New York Post stories. Other one, I think he's going to do well. Like you said, Schauffele, he's done well, top 15 in both majors so far this year, and normally his majors are like finishes are top 15.
Right.
I know he's only won 2 majors 2 years ago or however many years ago. But when he's not winning, he's always finishes like he's a backdoor top 15 guy or even top 10 kind of finishing pretty well. So he'll be interesting to see. Patrick Reed with his putting and short game that he has will be really interesting to see. He's starting to come into shape this year from playing more golf. And then the other kind of the guy I'll be following just to see how he does is another guy. He was a member's son from Deepdale. He's now on the Korn Ferry Tour, and my old boss still teaches him putting. Said he saw him right before U.S. Open qualifiers. His name is James Nicholas. He's a Korn Ferry Tour winner from Westchester. So just again, a New Yorker, fun to see.
Yeah.
And I know his dad used to be like the orthopedic doctor for the Jets.
Oh, cool.
So kind of
funny we didn't. Besides Rory, we'd listed a bunch of Americans.
Yeah.
I wonder why. which is funny that we shouldn't be overlooking.
No. I mean again,
like Fleetwood's doing amazing.
Fleetwood's doing amazing, but again, his putting is always. You got Fitzpatrick, Matt, not Alex.
Yeah.
Matt.
Sorry, Alex.
No, but Alex. I mean that's another story. We can have that's another episode we could talk about how what he's done this year with his brother, helping him get that first win and then
pretty
doing
cool.
it. It's awesome. I love to see that. You want to see a guy succeed. And it's tough probably being the person underneath a great brother of players.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're both trying to do the same thing. You're both trying to make it. And one of them obviously has had a great career and the other one's just riding the coattails. And finally you get a team win and then he goes out the following week and is in the mix. And so maybe he'll get going.
He'll get going. But then there's like Ludwig Oberg, so like really the top European guys other than Rory, John Rahm. And I just don't ever know what to think of John Rahm with where he is. Great player. Like I said, you saw PGA, faded a little bit at the end.
Yep.
But then you got Ludwig Oberg, who is just, he's always there, but there's something, I don't know. He's great again.
There's some barrier to get him over the finish line, especially in majors. He's always good for a top 20 in a lot of majors.
Yeah.
He'll be in the mix, but I don't know if he'll cross the finish line. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's going to be an entertaining week, always.
It'll be a fun week, and for me, actually, it'll be fun. Get to watch the final round with my dad. My daughter and I, Sadie, are going to Myrtle Beach that weekend. We're flying out, and we'll be there Sunday morning.
Oh, cool.
So get to spend Father's Day with him, watch the Open, and so it'll be a fun year this year.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah. So
should we dive into the battle?
The big debate.
I wonder if we're going to get any East Coast listeners who are going to be really upset by this argument.
No. As the great Will Ferrell says, now that's how you debate. No, we'll talk about golf courses. I mean, to me, it's hard, and from growing up on Long Island, and if you include Westchester and some of New Jersey and Connecticut in this, I mean, I really think that's the mecca of golf,
Sure.
other than Ireland or Scotland.
Right.
Though you hear a lot of ads in South Carolina about Myrtle Beach being the mecca of golf. But, it's definitely not. No. Fun place to be, but not the mecca of golf. Maybe they have the most golf courses.
The heyday came and went, I think.
Yeah.
My brother used to live there, and he was like, I think 30 years ago it was the place to be.
Yeah.
And it's still living 30 years ago.
Yeah. No, but I mean, Long Island golf, I mean, shoot. I was looking up the stats. They had 13 professional men's and women's majors out there. So Shinnecock had, well, this is now going to be their 5th U.S. Open. Bethpage has had 2 U.S. Opens. Fresh Meadow Country Club, which was right from Deepdale, awesome golf course, 1932 Open. Inwood Country Club, just south of JFK, where I unfortunately was at our Met PGA during 9/11. That was 1923. Garden City Golf Club had one in 1902.
Huh.
Women's Open at Sabonic in 2013. Again, PGA Championship at Bethpage at 2019. Ryder Cup Bethpage in 2025. USAM Shinnecock had one in 1896. Garden City had 2 others. Atlantic Golf Club, where I worked, had the U.S. Mid-Am in 2010. There was the U.S. Women's Amateur at Nassau Country Club in 2014.
Okay.
A lot of stuff. But not even that. Those are just like you always hear about the Bethpage and the Shinnecock, right?
Yeah.
Those are the ones that really are the ones that are hosting the venues that are hosting everything. But you've got courses like Piping Rock, like Top 100 on Golf Digest. You've got Piping Rock Club. I worked there in 95. Ooh, I'm old. Awesome Tillinghast Golf Course. Garden City Golf Club used to be known as Garden City Men's, but I had to change it.
Yep.
Unbelievable course. Maidstone, great golf course in East Hampton. Couple fun holes around the ocean. Sabonic, as we talked about. Bethpage, probably really the best truly public course in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Bethpage, or not even public course, public facility, I think.
For municipal. Like not a resort.
Not a resort.
State
muni.
Yep.
Because they have the Black Horse, and they even have Bethpage Red, which is another Tillinghast golf course.
I've heard it's really good, but nobody talks about it.
We used to have all of our Assistants Championship in Bethpage Red. It's one of my favorite golf courses.
Nice.
And then you got Friars Head on the North Shore in Baiting Hollow, not far from where I grew up. And then you got National and Shinnecock. I mean, so you have 8 courses in the top 100.
Right.
If you went from Garden City to, I know East Hampton's a little bit far out. It's probably, well, because of traffic, an hour and a half drive. Probably only 60 miles.
Right.
Would be my guess. But traffic could be an hour and a half to 2 hours. But it's
tough to argue. I mean, the history of golf, like you said, you're hosting majors pre-1900s.
Yeah.
Like, that's a pretty amazing thing that you get to say. I mean, West Coast golf is kind of in the golden age of golf, and then 1910s to 1920s, maybe 30s, which is when a lot of these courses kind of popped up. And we definitely and we're looking mostly Northern California, Bay Area and Monterey. We don't live down in Southern California, so we're going to skip those. But most of the stuff we're hosting, Pebble Beach, Olympic Club, are kind of your Shinnecock and your Bethpage.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, 6 U.S. Opens at Pebble, 5 U.S. Opens at Olympic, and a number of USGA events. PGA soon at Olympic Club.
Olympic.
PGA Championship was at Harding Park in 2020. Yeah. So but you've got your 2 Goliaths in Olympic and Pebble. But as you said, there's these other courses that might not get as much notoriety as if you look in the SF. You've got Cow Club, you've got SF Club, you've got Lake Merced, you've got Harding Park. And almost all of those there's probably a point at Olympic where you can see all 5 of those golf courses.
Yeah. That that little area right there, as you said, being on Olympic, really, you can be on any of those courses and see all the other ones.
Maybe not Cal Club. Cal Club's too far south.
Yeah, Cal Club,
About
sorry.
four.
But like Lake Merced, Olympic, Ocean and Lake, and then SF, you can kind of see, and even Harding.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me of the Shinnecock National Sabonic.
Because it's so close.
So close.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable that you can have so many great golf courses right there with different types of memberships.
Yeah.
So
and then when you get down, I mean, it's a little bit of a, like, ways to go, I don't know, 60 to 90 miles, something like that. You get down to Monterey, and then you add the Pebble, you add the Spyglass, you add Cypress, obviously super private, but
Monterey Peninsula.
Number 3, Monterey Peninsula.
Yeah.
You could throw the Preserve on there. Spanish Bay is getting redone, but that's your West Coast mecca of accessible golf. Everybody wants to play Pebble.
Yeah.
And while you're there, you're going to play Spyglass. You're going to play Spanish Bay. And when you have super great connection, you'll maybe get on Cypress.
Yeah.
If you have.
It's amazing. Yeah. Like it's different golf, as I say, because the views out, I should say out here on the West Coast, like you said, down in Monterey, the Pebble views, the Cypress views, the MPCC views of the ocean, just makes you feel like you're in a different place. Like when you get down there, you drive there, it's like
you just want to sit there
and just soak everything in, the ocean and all that. Unbelievable golf courses, unbelievable views. I think the views help out the golf courses in maybe not as hard sometimes. Like MPCC is tough, but the ones to me, the East Coast ones sometimes will beat you up.
Yeah.
On a regular, and you have unbelievable views with unbelievable architecture on the golf courses as well.
And that'd be an interesting argument. Is the architecture of those like pre-1900 golf courses what could push those over the edge if we're comparing East and West and these courses we're talking about? Yeah. Because the architecture is definitely different. You don't have that like wow factor of 7 holes along the coast that a lot of people are like, I don't even really care that much about the design of this golf hole. Like, this is amazing.
Yes.
7th hole at Pebble, like, it's pretty amazing if you're going to play a hole like that.
Yeah. The 8th hole at Pebble.
Right. All those ones along around the coast, you kind of get distracted from the golf part of it.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. That's by design.
Yep.
But super amazing golf courses to play on both sides, but very different time periods, different qualities for sure.
Yeah. And it's, like you said, Cypress is pretty much the national in Shinnecock, even the membership.
Oh, yeah, they overlap.
I mean, they overlap a ton. So you have a bunch of guys and gals that are members of both, and because they're able to, and it's that type of club. Cypress is an East Coast club and a West Coast location with unbelievable views.
And it was cool to get a view of that when they hosted the Walker Cup last year.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things, too, where, like, unless you're there on property, the cameras just struggle to do it justice.
Yeah.
Like, the designs of those golf holes are so unbelievable. I mean, it's a short golf course by all the standards that they play.
It's tough.
And the green complexes are small. The strategic things you have to do to play a golf course like that.
Yeah.
The little pockets and corners of greens that you have to aim, and you're avoiding sand dunes and stuff like that. It's, again, masterfully designed golf courses.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Play a few times.
Yeah, I don't know how do we define like what makes these East versus West, like how do we?
I mean, and for being an East Coaster, it's hard, right? Like I said, I think you really can't. You can't say one is better than the other. You just need to appreciate them both for their intricacies and how they're different. With Tillinghast building, Bethpage Black, Piping Rock.
I forgot Pasatiempo too. Jeez.
Pasatiempo.
I'm thinking McKenzie.
Allison McKenzie, another great golf course.
Yep.
And a great redo by Jim Urbina. Still a couple funky holes. or I should say, not the holes aren't funky. I think the holes are good. A couple of funky green complexes, like on 18, and I still think 16 is a little funky. But
but they tried to make sure they stayed pretty true to the Mackenzie design, which at that time greens were rolling at 8 and 9, not 11 and 12.
Yeah.
But anytime we've played there, the 16th green can eat your lunch.
Yeah, and same with the 18. But, I just think it's, as I said, respecting that they're both awesome places.
Right.
And if you're able to go play golf at those, and we didn't even, mention some of the other country clubs on Long Island that don't even want to be known.
Right.
There are places that don't want the notoriety that are unbelievable.
Yep.
Like Meadowbrook Club is Seth Rayner course, if I'm correct. You got Fisher's Island, that's kind of really it's a little island in the middle, and that's a good old CB McDonald. Or that's a Seth Rayner. It's like a top 30 course. It's just so many courses that are out there that are just. I mean, I think it's a better architecture area for golf. But I think West Coast beats it with the views.
Yeah.
Or at least down to Monterey.
Monterey is really tough to. I mean, I was playing with one of our pros in the pro event, and after the round, we went over, just had dinner looking over the 18th hole at Pebble, and it's so fun to just watch people come in. Yeah. And looking at that view, and we were hanging out at the Hay, playing the little par 3 course, and like it's such an amazing. The whole peninsula is just a mecca for golf. Yeah.
Pebble Beach has done it right for that area to make you feel welcome, even if you're going to the Hay, to having dinner there, or
you just want to hang out there all the time.
Yeah, Spanish Bay with the bagpipers every night.
Right.
It's a spot that's worth visiting, even if you're not playing golf. I still haven't even played out.
But like
Pebble,
I haven't either. But hey, you know what? $800 green fee's got to be worth it, right?
At some point.
we just gotta play better and get into the section match play, right?
Yeah,
that's the path.
Or get invited by somebody that's bringing a group. That's the main goal.
That would be the right way. Yeah. But I think, like you said, like Monterey and Pebble, it's such a great resort. But when you look at these courses on Long Island, like it's golf centric. It's the golf course itself that's getting people out there. It's not really the views. It's not really the amenities. It's pure golf
and the history.
Yeah.
The clubhouses are old and kept that way to keep that historic feel. I mean, you go into Garden City Golf Club, men still have to wear blazers inside the clubhouse.
Very traditional.
Very traditional. But the lockers are old, like metal lockers that you had in high school. Kind of like, just like...
Oh, really?
Again, just like San Francisco Golf Club, though, is the same way. Again, that's another
really old.
That's
tradition.
Another what I consider an East Coast club here on the West Coast.
Right.
Kind of the traditional golf. Old things are kept old for a reason.
Right.
And something to be said about that.
It's something special. I mean, it's somebody who's a golf purist. We grew up in golf, and the kind of post-COVID golf era, a lot of modern golfers are kind of tossing away tradition, and golf is YouTube videos and streaming and all this stuff. And it's just like, I think you miss, I don't know if they appreciate some of the tradition of a 100-year-old golf course and no technology on a golf course. It's you and a caddy and 3 of your buddies, and you're just having a great walk.
Great walk.
Like that's no music.
Yeah.
Like you need to do that so that you can experience true golf.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for grabbing beers and listening to music with your buddies for a round of golf.
And they all have awesome, all those clubs too. I know it sounds weird, has like a signature drink.
Yeah.
They've got one at National, they've got one at Shinnecock, they've got one at West Hampton Country Club. They all have kind of like this fun little signature drink that after the round you go with your friends and have a beverage, a beautiful beverage overlooking the golf course, and you're looking at the course. That was my favorite thing too. Even when I worked out in the Hamptons at Atlantic Golf Club, we were a mile and a half from the ocean, built into a farm area. That my favorite time of the day was actually in the evening, all the members would leave because they would be going out to do dinner. And the pros, the head professional at the time, before he passed away, Rick Hartman, we'd sit and all have a drink and just watch the sun go down or watch the deer run across the fields. And it's just golf and just watching this openness of golf course and the wind just kind of take the grasses, move them around.
Dude, it's like a spiritual experience.
It's very spiritual without having any water, and it's just the most relaxing place in the world, being out there and sitting at those places. So it's fun. But I don't think you can, I'm biased by New York, believe me. I'm not going to get into that. I think it's better architecturally, and I just love the architecture of the Long Island golf courses and the conditions. They're more true test, faster greens, and all that type of stuff. Where I played Olympic Lake a bunch. And it's an unbelievable hard golf course, very good. Haven't played San Fran a couple times, very good golf course, but agronomically, I just don't think it has and rivals the conditions of out east.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole point is like if you are near any of these two areas, you have access to some of the best golf courses in the world. They're all special in their own different way.
Yeah. But
my goodness, like I think I was at Pebble when I was with that pro looking over the 18th hole, and there was a couple guys from Atlantic City. They were on a golf trip, and they were playing Pebble, Spyglass, the Preserve, and they were like, "This is so different and so special."
Yeah.
And it was cool to get their perspective from East Coast guys, and but yeah, super cool, special golf courses. We're lucky to live close enough that we can play a lot of these NorCal ones, and you had experience with the Long Island one, so
and hopefully keep all my contacts in touch. So when I go back and play some more, and especially when I get to retire.
So if you're listening, everybody, East Coast, Mike's a great guy.
I'm coming back.
Invite him out
at some point.
Get him out there for some golf trips.
But no, everyone, I do want to thank you for listening to episode number 2 of Holy Shanks. We'll get into some more stuff. We'll probably do a U.S. Open recap after the U.S. Open when we've got some time. Yeah, and we can talk about the Open Championship. Don't want to call it the British Open. The Open Championship.
And we can talk about the renovation that's going on here and kind of get a peek into what that whole process looks like. There's all sorts of cool, awesome things we'll be talking about. So stay tuned and look for the next episode of Holy Shanks.
Have a good one.
Happy golfing.